Okay, we are live. Welcome, everybody. We are doing this after, I think, 1 month now. So, Rajiv ji is with us. We do this every other Thursday. So, if you're joining us today and or if you're watching it live, come back again next Thursday to hear this. I mean, to ask your questions. But Rajiv ji, how's everything in the immigration world? Any new news? Any updates?
Um, I don't think there is anything major going on. A lot of the issues that are presenting are still routine questions, issues that have existed before. There are no earth-shaking developments in any of the fields, except that it's almost axiomatic that when government touches something, if they fix one thing, they break seven. So they did that with the investment-based green cards.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of noise around
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. They fixed one thing and they broke seven. So we're still struggling with that.
So
Other than,
wait, what did they fix it and what is
well,
broken?
first of all, there are two aspects, right?
Yeah.
There are the individual investors, and then there are the investors who go through these pre-approved schemes, regional centers. They're called regional centers.
Yeah.
A regional center is simply an investment scheme that has been approved for only immigration perspective by the government.
Mm.
They can't guarantee your payments and all. So with the result, what was happening was there was a considerable amount of uh, quality issues involved with running of these centers, and a lot of people lost their money. Government went in and they fixed some of the things, um, more supervision, closer scrutiny,
Mm.
but they also messed up so many different things. The way the law is written, I've been practicing law for 30 years. I couldn't
Yeah.
understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand which provisions applied to these centers and which provisions applied to the individuals. That's still a mystery.
Mm. Mm.
So many of the laws are not clear. Right now, I think there are at least two lawsuits that I'm aware of pending against the government, but those
Mm.
are from regional centers. And there are many issues like this. Not only that, they raise the minimum amount. Now, here's the interesting thing. For the $1 million investment, they raised it only 50,000. But for the $500,000 investment, they raised it
Step.
300,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little,
Yeah. Yeah.
some good things there though. You can file 485 if the dates are current. You
Mm.
can file together. There's some good things there, but it's not a good scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Any idea on H1b second lottery this year? Happening, not happening?
Well, last year it happened in July, right? So
Yeah.
I think this year, I don't know if there will be a second lottery because remember, they were better prepared this year. They knew how to
Hmm.
use the data better.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Basically, they are saying statistically, we have X number of slots available for H1B.
Yeah.
And normally, Y number of people apply, but out of the Y, Z or Z number of people drop out such that Y is less than X.
Mm.
I'm talking algorithms now. What do I do? When Y is less than X, we have to run a lottery.
Yeah.
And let's call that number now that we need. So the number that is still missing out of X, we try to fill that. We still screw up. Our estimates are still not right. Then we run a second lottery.
Mm. Yeah.
Simply, when there is a shortfall and your prediction is not accurate, you keep running these lotteries. And I think some of it is just in the system. How can you predict how many people are going to apply, with any degree of certainty? This year, I don't know how good their estimates were. So we will see. If
Yeah.
there is a lottery, it probably will be coming up soon in a few weeks.
Yeah. Okay. My dad overstayed and recently got his EAD as U visa applicant after 9 years. Will it affect my F1 visa
Yeah,
interview?
it can. Because your family, first of all, there are two issues here. One is that how much is your connection with your country if your family lives in immediate family lives in USA,
Yeah.
And second, if there is a history of immigration violations, does that reflect upon you? I
Mm,
think it's just common sense. I don't think I can give you any legal provision that would hurt you, but I think common sense could hurt you. All you can do is, Aditya, if you are a genuine student, you have maintained good grades, you are serious, you are going for education. It's quite obvious from your the university you are going to, your grades, etc. I think they may ignore everything else, but if this comes up and they want to make an issue of it, they certainly can. Both these problems, no connections left in India, and two, there is a record of immigration violations.
mm, mm. Yeah,
But what choice do you have? You can just go try. That's all you can do, right?
right. Raghavendra is asking any idea for mass rejection. Not sure
Panditji,
what.
what does that mean? I'm not sure
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah. Yeah, if you can clarify what's
Mass
happening.
rejections?
There's been layoff recently. Will this increase selection
Yeah.
chances if there are second round of H1B?
Yes, because I know there are people who've called us and said, my employer is not going to file my H1B. Can I transfer my H1B lottery? And you cannot transfer lottery selections.
Mm.
So let's say that IBM applied for your lottery, and IBM says, sorry, our AI is not doing that well. Google is killing us, right?
Yeah,
Google is killing us, or Amazon is killing us. We can't hire you anymore. You can't take that to Google or to Sun Microsystems. I don't even know. I haven't heard of Sun for a long time. I don't know where they are
yeah.
anymore. Or
They're not
Oracle.
right.
So you can't transfer the lottery. You can transfer once the H1B is approved, but not the lottery. One of the questions that comes up quite a bit is, can I transfer before October 1st? And my answer is you can, but it's dangerous. If your old employer revokes your H1B earlier than October 1st, then government could put you back in the quota, saying that
Mm,
before the quota was
mm,
triggered, you're out.
mm. That's a
So be
good
careful
point.
with that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's quite it's quite a mess. Let's put it that way.
yeah, yeah.
But good
Uh,
question.
yeah.
That does increase, because that's one thing. This is a good point this gentleman has made,
Mhm.
that because of these layoffs, uh, we might again have skewed numbers.
Yeah,
Might have
yeah.
more H1B availables in the second lottery.
Right. I was gonna ask follow-up question, but I lost it already. So never mind. He'll come back to me. Incoming freshman Chico State student have some problems regarding. Oh yeah. Just email me yudijagani at gmail.com. Just email me. Can help you connect with the students here. People are claiming that timelines for PERM and I-40 have become faster. What is your experience around that?
I don't think so. I think they're steady at those 5 6 months for the palm, and I think they are. Again, I could be wrong. Other people in the team take care of all the nitty gritty details. Um, but I-140s, I don't think so. I think we are
Mm,
pretty much. But you know, I-140 you can premium,
right.
and an employee can pay for the premium processing. I don't think that that's illegal.
Next question is can I apply for F1 visa from outside of India as I'm currently living in Italy?
You can try, especially if you are in Italy on a long-term visa like a student visa or a work visa. It's okay for you to try. But remember, student visas, the judgment about whether you are a genuine student and you're going to come back is best made according to the consulate in your home country. So the consulate, US consulate in India could say, look, you've got to go back to your home country and apply. But certainly try. I don't see any harm in trying. And if you succeed, please share with us.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be interesting. I'm currently on H1B visa and I have used 2 years of my OPD. I want to go for an MBA. Will I get OPD again after MBA? Also, what will happen to my H1B?
So the H1B, whatever time you have not used, will get parked and you can use it again. You will not be subject to the lottery for up to 6 years. So For the OPT, remember, OPT only comes alive again if you go to the next higher level. So if you're going for MBA, if your first degree was BBA, sure, you'll get more OPT. And if it's in MBA is in informatics or something like that, you might even get uh, 2 years again because you can get STEM extension also twice.
Right. And so why would he need OPT if he already has H1B? I'm understanding the process. Like he's on H1B. If he goes for MBA, would he
Yeah, I
convert it
agree.
into?
But think about it this way, Yuri. Think about it this way. H1B is tied to an employer. You need to get an employer. You need to get a job. If you already have an OPT, getting a job is so much easier. The first year of OPT is so easy because you can work with anyone.
Right, right,
And
right.
what happens with most of our people, our immigrant community, not just Indian people, but most of the people who have come to the United States looking for a better life and better careers,
Mm.
we end up being very hardworking. And what that does is that motivates the employer to spend the money they have to process the H1B for us.
Yeah, yeah. And but in his case, if he has already H1B is exam to lottery,
Yeah.
if in his final semester is able to get a job, then his
Yeah.
employer can just take over
Yes.
the H1. Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
Okay, cool. If my brother is staying in USA on H1B visa, will I still be able to get an
Yeah.
F1 visa for my masters? How should I
Yeah. Yeah.
approach the interview? Be
Yeah. Just
honest.
be truthful. Just be truthful.
Yeah.
Don't try to spin stories. Just be truthful about anything they ask you. Rest is up to, it's a matter of luck.
Yep. How will the US economy clash affect international students? I think there's a lot of question on the
US economy
recession.
crash, well, how will it affect students? I don't think it should affect students at all. What effect does it have? Now it might affect employment, but how does
Yeah.
it affect students?
I think that's probably what they're
Yeah,
tr-
but
trying to ask.
economy slumps, ups and downs. Every 10 years there's a cycle of depression, there's a cycle of upsurge. So this is normal.
And I mean, there's a lot of companies still hiring. Like my company is still hiring, so it's might be also industry based.
The nature of jobs changes too. I
Right.
mean, you might not find as many jobs in the entertainment sector, especially those where you actually go to the entertainment venue, as you might find, for example, healthcare sectors would
Yeah.
do well, or
Eh,
sectors that facilitate, for example, and I'm not giving you any inside tips, but any kind of infrastructure, such as cybersecurity is an example.
mm,
AI is
yeah.
another field. Big data is still a big field. Data
Yes.
analysis is still a big field. So typically, what happens is if there's a contraction on one side, there's an expansion on the other.
Right. And if you're coming in fall, which is 2022, by the time you graduate, that'll be 2024. I mean,
Yeah,
hopefully the economy will stable.
yeah.
Will be stable.
And I'll give you a personal example. I actually there was a time I'm not an investor kind of person. I like to work for a living. But somebody told me, my brother said, put some money in with these brokers. They're doing a very good job. They
Yeah.
lost 70% of my portfolio in 1 year. And 70%, that's a lot of money. Okay.
Yeah, that
They
is.
lost it. And then my own CPA is telling me we should sell off the next 30%. I said, let it go, let it all go. I don't really care. By the end of that year, we had the 70% back. So these ups and downs go all the time in the market. That's
Mm,
not something you should, of course, you can lose money. That's true. But
yeah.
it is equally true that the ups and downs in the economy are very normal.
This is a very interesting question, not an immigration question, I think. F1 visa studying in Pennsylvania. My question is if I want to own a gun, is it open carry in my state? So is there any problem in it? How can it affect my future immigration process?
As long as the laws of the state, okay, now I know this for as a matter of personal experience, because for example, if you have to follow all the laws. My brother gave me a gun and said, you can take it to Washington, D.C. with you because I'm not using it. Believe me, that's illegal. I double checked on it. you cannot transfer firearms across state borders. The way
But
you
before even that, like can an internet like can an
no, I'm
F1
coming to
visa?
that.
Okay,
I'm coming to that. So the
okay,
point is, the gun rules are extremely complicated, especially when it's across state lines. So if Pennsylvania allows a student on an F1 visa to own a gun, by all means own one. If they allow you to open carry, by all means open carry. Okay, and make sure there are, even in open carry states. I'm a gun owner, so I'm very careful with the rules.
yeah,
Even in open carry states, there are certain areas where you can't take a gun.
right,
For example, to a bar,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can't wear your gun to a bar. Even if you have a conceal and carry permit, you still cannot.
right.
So the point is, if the state law allows you, absolutely go for it, but do not, make sure you understand all the gun laws.
And it's a state law, not a federal. Like
There are certain aspects of it which are federal, but
okay,
mostly it is state law.
and immigrants can like in F1 visa, H1B, we can buy it.
If the state law allows you, why not?
Okay, I didn't. I thought we
I'm
like
not
we
sure it
have to
does.
be a citizen.
I'm not sure it does, because he has two concerns. Can
Yeah,
I get a gun on F1? And the answer is, if the state law allows. And second, does it affect my immigration? Not if you don't break the laws.
right, 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 right. Okay. There is a question which we cannot answer. The why are people getting rejected in F1 visa interview? Please give tips to have an 100% acceptance.
You cannot. It's a matter of judgment, and every case is different. Yash, how can anybody give you a tip for 100% acceptance? If somebody is giving you those tips, they are lying to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Quickly change channels. There's nothing you can do. My advice always has been, be sincere, be honest.
Mm, yeah. Does previous B1, B2 reject will
It can
affect
be a
my
problem. Yeah,
F1?
yeah. A previous B1 B2 rejection can be a problem for your F1, but not always.
Not always. Yeah, yeah. Okay. As a master student, I got stuck in AP. They have assumed me as a PhD student. Oh,
Hmm?
okay. I don't know what AP means.
Neither do I. Administrative processing. That's what
Oh,
it is.
gotcha. Uh,
221G.
right. Okay.
I'm so excited I
So
was able to actually decipher that.
uh, I think what his question is like, how long do we have to wait? Or I told them in the interview I'm going to
As
pursue
long as
study.
it takes, sir.
Yeah,
Nobody can predict that.
yeah. Apurva is here. He's good friend of mine. Once you get H1B approval letter, can you apply for visa slot right after? I did something like apply it within. I did see something like apply it within 90 days of start, which is October 1st. The instructions were
Okay.
not clear on the website.
Slot right after. First of all, as I understand it, consulates don't entertain visa applications. I could be wrong. And these are local rules. I think 4 months is the magic period, but you can double check with the consulate. You cannot apply more than 4 months ahead. And two, you cannot enter more than 10 days ahead of October 1st if October 1st is your start date.
Mm,
So if you go to India or any other country and you want to return on H1B, you can't do it before what, September 21st or so.
yeah. Currently working from India, stamping
Hang on
pending.
1 second.
Oh,
I'm just putting out a public warning. If you are a friend of UD's, don't let it be known publicly. That's not a good thing.
that is correct. Yeah. Currently working from India, stamping pending. Implications if H1B transferred before stamping.
Currently working from India, stamping pending up. What stamping? Oh,
I think
H1B.
H1B.
If
Yeah.
H1B transferred before, okay. So, Tushar, I don't know if you're subject to the quota, because if you are subject to the quota, and again, I just mentioned that if you transfer before October 1st and the earlier employer revokes before October 1st, you could have a big problem.
Mm,
So that's one aspect. Other aspect is, if you are already on H1B, then Transferring before stamping certainly is a possibility, but discuss with your lawyers. Government maintains the position that unless you get a change of status or a visa stamping after getting an H1b approval, you are still not out of the woods. You are
Mm,
still subject to the quota. So, what that does is if you don't have a prior change of status and the old employer revokes the H1B, or even otherwise, government takes the position, hey, you didn't get a change of status and don't have an H1B visa prior to this, you're still subject to the quota. So be careful with those little issues that are still unsettled.
mm, mm. A couple of good questions. Love you guys coming to USA, Northern Virginia. Can my mom and I, which I'm her son, can get E2 visa together because me and my mom, also my dad's friend, might invest. I'm 21-year-old Pakistan.
Oh, good. So from Pakistan, yes, you can definitely get E2 visa. And actually, I just confirmed it for another client of mine who's a Canadian citizen today. We were talking about he has a old childhood friend who wants to give him a gift of $100,000. And because
Mm,
they've been friends since they were little kids and they have supported each other through life, his friend has made a lot of money. And I said, look, I don't know what your idea is, but let me double check the law on this. And I double checked. For E2 visas, you can actually take a personal loan. Personal loan simply means an understanding between friends. You don't have to put anything in mortgage. You don't have to leverage your assets. So you could actually get a loan. So first answer, you're 21, that's good enough. If you have a project where you want to invest and put your money in, you'll be able to get an E2. Can your mom get an E2? No, unless she's also investing independently. And of course, together you can have a project, but you'll both have to put your own amount of money in that.
mm, mm. Okay. Think I know the answer. If a student on F1 visa also does social media promotion, can you have sponsorship from Indian companies like Mama Earth or American companies while on F1 or H1B visa?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt if that would be considered because if you do social media promotions, some kind of activity is going on. It'll probably be considered to be active income.
Yep.
I would be concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. So good question. Okay, there we go. As a potential student for fall 2022, I was born in Middle East but have a Indian citizenship. When should I start my green card process as I belong to the rest of the world category?
Okay, there are two aspects. Do this. Go to Google or search bar, whichever search bar you like. Google is not the
You
only
seem
one
to
I
promote
recommend.
Google a lot.
Yeah, I know. Just because I use Google, so I that's
Sundar
what.
Pichai might be your friend.
So what you do is search my name, Rajiv S. Khanna, Khanna, Economic Times. I wrote an article on this about what the implications of applying for a green card while still a student are. So you are one of those lucky ones because you're the rest of the world. You can apply even as a student. When should you apply? As early as possible. But note one thing. What is the green card based on? The PERM based green card, the labor certification based green card, is based upon not being able to find US workers for the skill set experience that you have. But if you have no experience, then your chances of getting a green card are pretty slim, right? So, for example,
Mm,
let's say you don't have any experience, but in the school you did a project on Hadoop, and the company that you're working for is doing a lot of Hadoop work. Maybe they can ask for Hadoop experience in academia or outside in the real world. And not to say that academia is not real world, technology is the same in both places. But
yeah.
the point is that you have to assess your application, and your lawyer should be able to do it. This is not rocket science. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, that was another question. Uh, okay, sorry, I lost it.
Yuri, am I even making sense? Sometimes I think I go too fast and maybe it doesn't make
No,
sense.
no, no, no. You are making sense. Yeah. And sometimes I'm reading the comments on the site, so I know which one to pick. So
Okay.
so that, like, yeah,
He
you're
got an
making sense.
RFE on his
Mhm.
H1b, haven't received the reason yet. No, no, it depends. So, are you going to get the RFE by mail, by fax, by email? It depends. I think, and I could be wrong about this, I think when you file premium, you get the RFE through email. Otherwise, I think you get it through fax and mail, if I remember correctly. Okay, again, I'm not doing the nitty gritty work. I haven't picked up a fax in 30 years. So I don't know how. I'm so glad that the team can take care of all that
So
for
for
me.
me, I had RFE, and for me, they sent a letter.
No,
It
but
wasn't
the thing
online.
is, employment based is different.
Oh, so is this not
Yeah,
employment?
H1B. He's talking about an H1B RFE.
Yeah, I had an H1B
So,
RFE.
so you got by mail.
Yeah.
I know that some RFEs come through faxes. I've seen them as I go
Mm.
by in
Mm.
the office. But that could be premium processing.
Fax seems old technology, but yeah, yeah. No, for me at least, it was in the mail. They send it to me and my
Yeah.
lawyers.
So,
The
and typically another thing is, Nitin, uh, between the time they intimate you and the time they send out could be about 7 days to 10 days easily,
Mm,
because that's their process. They go through their mail room and all that. So easily 7 to 10 days, maybe a couple of days extra.
yeah,
Don't get nervous. H1B RFEs are a fact of life, not a big deal.
yeah. Could you elaborate on golden visa, investment visa, and whether minimum investment is 500K or 900K?
It's I don't know what golden visa is. I know what
That's,
investment based
I
visas
was
are.
gonna ask you that.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. But Agastya, the investment based visas, if you invest in an targeted employment area, is 800,000. In regular areas, it's 1,050,000. Or if you invest with a proper investment regional investment center, which are pre-approved schemes, as I said, there also the investment tends to be 800,000 because they planned their business like that.
Hmm, got it. Is it safe to file H1 without premium processing due to risk of recent recession? What if job is lost before approval or get RFE after losing job?
Yeah, you answered your own question, haven't you? So the earlier you get the approval, the better off you are, right?
But he's asking without premium processing.
That's why I'm saying if you should do it premium processing so you get an approval as early as possible.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, okay. I hope that was clear, Umang. Okay. Is it possible to get green
Yeah,
card before this fiscal? I'm filing through cross.
yeah, it's possible.
Okay. Uh, um,
July,
Japanese
August,
work.
September, June, July, August. Some possibility. It's not hugely probable, but it's possible.
Yeah. Did we answer this question? Maybe not. What's the scene for people who are trying for H1B visa? Is it worth coming to USA for long term, considering the risk of not getting H1B visa, or one
Well,
should?
that again is an easy answer. Um, Try it. If you don't get selected in the lottery, then Canada is always next door.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you don't like moving around your life a lot, then maybe go for Canada. Some people like it, nomad life. So, um, next question: how difficult is it to transfer college at graduate level? Consider GPA is maintained.
It's not difficult at all.
Yep. Yeah, seen many students do it. Okay, I got my H1B picked in my 0th attempt. Congratulations. And my company is doing a premium process. And I got a call from Fang company later. Should I switch and drop H1B?
I got my H1B picked with zero at the time. That sounds like system thinking. That sounds like reading an array, right? Zero is the first
Zero,
member.
yeah, yeah, but you know what she means, right? The
I know, I
zero, yeah,
know.
yeah.
Company is doing a premium process, and I got a call from phone company later. Should I switch?
I would stay with the
What's
company who's
phone
doing your
company?
FANG means like Facebook, Apple,
Oh,
Netflix, Google.
okay. Yeah, Shruti, I think your H1B is probably more important. And if they have called upon you once, they'll call upon you again.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes recruiters, at least for the FANG companies, they are willing to wait. So I would actually talk to the recruiters and ask them like, hey, can you guys wait for next 3-4 months, because anyway you're doing premium processing. So
Yep.
okay, if a lot of premium processing question, if you do premium processing, does it look
Don't look.
greedy to enter
It doesn't
us?
look greedy. It's perfectly okay.
Yeah, love from Ireland, wow, I
Go
didn't
for
know.
it. Go for it, little brother. No problem.
uh, okay. I've got issued with F1 visa on this 30th December 2021 for spring 2022, but I have deferred my intake to fall 2020. I've got issues with revised I-20. Can I use the same visa or attend a new F1 visa interview?
If you're coming to the same school for a different session, as far as I know, you can use the same visa. You can also send a quick email, Rupa, to the consulate and see what they say. I think they'll allow you to use the same visa.
And if you find out the answer, please email me. So because I
Yeah.
think a lot of people have asked me this question.
Yeah, I think it should be okay.
Yeah.
It's the service number that matters, right? If it's the same service number with a different visa, it should, I mean, with the same visa, it should be okay.
Yeah.
Because when they issue you a new I-20, I think they put the same service number.
Yeah. Um, that was the same question. Oops. Can we apply for green card if we have stayed in USA
No,
for 10 plus years?
that's not a sign. No, that's not a pre-qualification for eligibility. No.
Yeah. Okay. That was another good question. Okay. Can you please tell the process of extending H1B visa with I-140 approved by previous employer, EB2
The
category?
process is the same, Bhanu, as that for any other H1B. The new employer will apply for your H1B. They'll use a copy of the approval notice of the old I-140 approval and seek extension based upon that.
Hmm. Future of H1B after completing masters in 2025.
That's too, it's not possible for us to answer that question or anyone to, but I think it's looking good. Why not?
Yeah. There will be an election before that, right?
2024,
2024.
right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Rupa said if I have been
Yeah.
issued with the same
That's
service
why I
number.
think, yeah, I think it'll be easy for you to enter. But double check, Rupa. It doesn't hurt to double check with the consulate.
Yeah. I think
And also
same
your DSC
question. My H1B petition is approved. Just curious,
after
when can I?
October 1st. Yeah, I think that would be the smart thing to do. You can get your H1B approval done first. Okay. So this is one thing you need to remember. You can do your H1B approval even now, but don't change jobs until after October 1st. Because
Hmm.
just because you got an approval through another company doesn't mean you can't continue with the old company. But if you want to keep it simple, just after October 1st, apply for an H1B premium processing.
Hmm. That's a good. Okay. I'm an F1 student, and my parents are also here doing adjustment of status for themselves. Would
No,
that be an issue when
no
applying
issue.
for?
No issue, Khan Sahab.
Nice. Okay. I am a transfer student, so I studied for 1 year in India and now transfer my credits to US University for bachelor's in computer science. Will it be an issue in getting F1 visa?
कहना औखा है कुड़िए कुड़िए के मुंडिया पता नहीं I
Avneet.
yeah, Avneet can be a guy or a girl.
Oh,
Um,
really? I thought
yeah,
it was always a guy, but
no, that's one thing unique about Sikh names. They are unisex.
Okay.
So anyhow, going back to what we were thinking, just because you're transferring credits, I don't see why that should be a negative point of need. Um, I can't think of any reason why that should be a negative, or may even be slightly positive point, because obviously you started into a program that is recognized in the United States. So I don't know. I don't know if I can give you any good answer for my, as far as my judgment is concerned. I think it's slightly positive.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Can we show? I think it's hard to answer. Can we show only loan as a proof of funds for F1 visa?
Why not?
Yeah.
A lot of people do, Akshay.
Okay. How long? How will the current recession affect internships? If I come, we already answered this,
See,
Kshitij.
even by the way, even in the worst of recessions, there were people for the right, there were jobs for the right people with the right skills. So I don't know if I'm that worried about the recession. It
Yeah.
might be a problem for even our own work. It was affected very little, because the right people, when things get difficult, they also want good lawyers. They want to go to people, who worked hard, and
Yeah.
they have built their practices that way. So I don't know if we should worry too much about the recession. That's my feeling, guys.
Yeah.
I'm not an economist, so please.
Yeah. Will MPS program create bad image in
What's
counselor?
MPS?
I think it's professional studies instead of masters of science. Uh, it's like master level, but not really master level.
So I think the answer is the same that we gave earlier. If you are a serious student on a serious study path, I think it helps your case.
Mm. This is a good question, Anushka, Anushka. How many internship can an international student do on an undergraduate F1 visa?
There is no limit as long as your school allows it, because the schools have some rules too. They have their own internal rules that, if you're on a full-time student status, which is what you have to be, you cannot do more than 20 hours internship. So double check with the school. There's no
Mm,
limit legally.
yeah. Yeah, and that was Masters of Professional
Ah,
Studies instead of Masters
so
of
as long as
Science.
as long as you are a serious student, correct, I would say go for it.
Okay, last question because I have to run to my next meeting.
Yeah, I'm late too.
Yeah, my company has just applied for H1b. What is the probability that it will highlight that I'm the second person? Wait, what? One H1b. What can I expect? And the company is hiring massively in US. What about the LMA? LMA? Any idea?
What's LMA?
No idea.
It'll be nicer to be able to talk to people, won't it?
It would, yeah. I need to start the calling feature again
Yeah,
next
it'd be
time.
so much easier, because I don't know what this means.
Yeah,
Let's try it one more time. My company has just applied for one H1B. What is the probability that it will highlight that I'm the second? Companies like, I don't want to say names. There are companies who apply for 600, 700 H1Bs. So how does that matter, whether it's one or two? So don't
yeah.
worry about that.
Um,
That's not an issue.
yeah, I'm assuming that's what he's asking. Like, if
I think
his
so, because
company
that's
applied
what you
for
need to
like
know.
four people and he's the second one, is that
Yeah,
gonna be problem?
not a big deal at all. That's a very small number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um. Cool. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Rajiv ji, and join us
You
again
are.
after next week. And take
Sounds
care,
good.
everybody.
Bye
Yep.
bye.
Bye.